next law, the fifth law, law of cause and effect. Cause and effect. Okay, so nothing happens by chance or outside the universal laws. Every action, including thought, has a reaction, a consequence. And as Jesus said best, we reap what we sow. Exactly, John. We reap what we sow. There's also a principle, again, a Hermetic principle, that is of cause and effect, and it says every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Again, there's the corresponding thing again. And everything happens according to the law. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. So when people say there's chance or there's luck and all this stuff, they're just not recognizing the law of cause and effect. Okay, so cause and effect. The choices we make are causes and the outcomes are effects. The law does not favor anybody and it works the same for everyone. The law is clear and fair. The great thing is, like all the laws, you can control the law. Interesting, right? All the laws you can control. And you can make choices that are better in order to have better effects. So, nothing is by chance. Okay, check this out. Has anyone ever heard of that game Ludi? Ludi, okay? Anyone, you guys hear about it? Ludi is, I don't know if it's just Jamaican, but I just had it. You're Jamaican? It's an island game, right. So it's like sorry. Anyone hear of the word sorry? Names? Yeah. Okay, so it's like sorry. Oh, Chandler, you were going to say something earlier, by the way. And I cut you off. I told you, hold on a second.
No, I don't remember.
You're good? Okay. So, Ludi is, you get 4 men. And everyone starts out in the corner of the game. Okay, I used to play it way back in the day with my friend Garfield and my friend Diane and everything. I hadn't played the game for years. So Easter that just passed, I was at a family's house and we finished eating dinner and the mother's like, oh, let's play Ludi. And so there was myself and my friend and his sister and her husband. And so, you know, there was other people as well, but they were just watching. And so they're like, so this is how you play the game and everything. And I was like, well, I haven't played it for years. Well, all right, let's play. I don't really play board games. So I'm sitting there. You have to get your 4 men out and then back up and home again. You have to roll a 6 in order to even come out of the cage kind of thing. There's home in the middle of the board, and then there's your own little cage that you have to come out of. So everyone's rolling 6s. And I'm like, you know, everyone's, one girl's halfway across the board. She's like, yeah! And so everyone's enjoying the game. And I'm like, when am I going to roll this 6? Right? And then so I'm like, all right, so finally I rolled a 6. And I'm like, yeah! It feels so good to actually do something like that, you know? So I roll a 6, and I, you know, count my men. That's it. All of a sudden, oh, and then you roll again when you get a double 6. I got a double 6. So I rolled again. And I had a choice now, at that point, to gobble this girl, because you gobble people when you land on them. So I had a choice to gobble her up or take out one of my other men. Now, they were all screaming, the people who weren't playing, kill her! Kill her! Take her man, because she can get around the board and she can win the game. You got to get your opponent, right? And I'm like, I don't really want to gobble her up because she still has 3 men to come out. She's not going to win with 1 man, right? And I still have 3 men that need to come out. So I think it's in my best interest if I take out all my men and have my men all around the board, right? Instead of just gobbling up everyone else's with my 1 man. Because anyone can send me back home, right? Send me back to the cage anytime. And I'm like, well, if I feel mercy on someone, maybe someone will feel mercy on me. No, they didn't. But anyway, so I said, well, no, I'm not going to gobble her out. I'm going to leave her. I'm just going to take out one of my men. They're like, but it's a game, and you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to kill her. And I was like, oh, no. And I said, no, I'm not going to do it. And I followed my heart. And trust me, people were around, and they're all like, oh, you don't know how to play the game? They weren't like saying like mean way, just like, this is like life, you know. And when I heard that, I was like, well, if it's like life, I would not kill her, right? If my opponent is getting somewhere, you know, she's not threatening me, why would I jump upon her? You know, that's envy or something, right? So I'm like, I'm going to take my man out. So I took another man out. I'm playing. You want to know something? The game, I won the game at the end, and I rolled 6 after 6 after 6. It got to the point where the mother of the house said, how's she rolling those dice so 6? And there was no cheating, right, obviously. She's like, how's she rolling 6s so much? Look how she's rolling them. Watch every time she rolls them. Look, she hits the back of the board. Hit the back of the board when you roll them. She's telling everyone to roll dice like me. One girl was like, seriously, 6s love you. And I won. And I was like, okay, so I look at that as cause and effect. What I caused at that moment, I changed the whole destiny of my game. Right? Everyone else changes the destiny of their game. Then there was one guy who was the rule doer. He said, when the game first came out, he said, I'm the king of Ludi, you know. I've been doing Ludi for years. I think he came in 2nd place, okay? But he was actually, when he got his 6s, whenever he rolled anything, he was going, okay, let me see where you are, Cerise. Let me see where you are, Warren. All right. And, okay, so I need 4 to kill you and 6 to kill you. And he was counting on the board how many steps he had to get before he got people. Right? And so I was like, there's the one who is like, don't kill. And the other one who is like, good, you know, kill. He expected to win the game because he was the master of it. So, and here I was, one of the beginners. And so what I'm saying is, when we do things in life, we have to do the exact same thing. A little bit of mercy, a little bit of understanding. Now, if we each had one man on the board, and not all those men, I probably would have got her. It's a game. Right? In real life, do or die, right? In real life, too. Like, you know, you do or die. But there are ways that you have to use life skills, but that at that moment. Okay, so here's another one, cause and effect. A woman comes to me, and she's going through a divorce. And she says that she doesn't want a divorce, but she's the one that put in for the divorce. And I said, well, why would you put in for the divorce? And she's like, well, my husband, you know, I have 2 girls and a boy, and the girls are in ballet, and all he does is go out with the boy to sports and everything. He doesn't do anything with the girls. He's never home. He goes to work after work. He goes out to the bars with the boys to do all this sports stuff and everything, like with his friends. And he's never home. He never goes to the recitals for the girls. And she's just complaining and complaining. And I'm like, well, you put up with it all that time. She's like, well, yeah. And he provides very well. This woman has an estate. Very, you know, she can go buy the best Gucci bag, she can go buy the best Prada shoes, she's the best perfumes, you name it, she'll buy it, okay? So she's like, yeah, but that's just all material stuff. He's not taking care of my heart, he's not taking care of everything else. And I said, yes, but you have been dealing with it, and you got married to that, knowing that. So that is not cause and effect. I'm going to get more into it now. So then she says, well, I threatened him with divorce. So I went to him and gave him divorce papers. And I said, okay. She's like, and I took all his stuff and I put it in our garage. Our garage is like a big apartment. So I told him he's going to have to live in there until he can get his self together and until he can start acting like a husband. And I said, well, he was always acting like that same husband, right? Like, how that was your husband. What kind of husband do you want him to act like? So she's like, well, I want him to be like, you know, do things more with the family. And I said, okay, well, all right. So I'm listening to her. So, you know what he did? He took his stuff out of the garage and left. And he said, oh, well. And she said, she started to call him up, I want you to come back home. I want you to come back. And she started to cry and everything, wanted him back home. He said, you did me a favor. Because for years you've been complaining that I'm not a good man. I have provided for you more than most women.
I'm available. I've gone through all the shit I can handle. Is he single? Then she can find another son.
No, he's not single any longer. So then check this out. Now this is a man. He was overweight and everything like that. I guess he's a contractor or something. He owns a pretty good company there in Toronto. So he was overweight and everything. He left her, lost all his weight, got himself a younger woman who was a career-oriented woman. His wife never finished grade 9.
And she had such a good provider. Wow.
A good provider. They were dating since high school. And he never finished grade 9. She used to always call him stupid. You're just a contractor. Like, you know, he didn't ever finish grade 9 himself. Right? So they had children, they got married young, and he continued to work and provided so well for her. So now, she comes to me, and of course she's crying. And why she comes to me is because she wants to patch up her divorce. How can she get him back? Now I'm picking up, there's no way she's gonna get him back. So I'm like, there's just no way. This man is now happy. He was not happy when he was with her. And he didn't mind giving her half of what he got because he has a lot. And so now, turns around, and she says, he caused it all. Well, he caused it all. Now look at everything. Now he's with a new woman, like I said. He's now taken her for the children because she's just kind of taking it really, really rough. And he has grounds to take the children from her. And she threatened him, his life, and his new girlfriend's life. She drove her car up on his lawn already and everything like that. He doesn't pay for her car any longer. When they first divorced, he was paying for her car. He doesn't pay for her car any longer. Doesn't pay for anything. And so she went nuts because what the lifestyle she was used to was now just dwindling right before her and going away. And so now what happens is she says he caused it all. And I had to bring her to the reality that she caused it. Cause and effect. Cause is not him doing that all the time. That is what they have created. She accepted him. She knew he was like that before they got married. The cause is the jolt, when something happens right away. So something that is like out of the blue. So the cause is, boom, what she did, divorce. The effect was what she did. Very much, that's cause and effect. So if you do something that is out of the norm, and it's so unexpected, and you create something that is unnecessary, there will be effect. Go ahead.
Why did she just why didn't she just confront him? Why did she just jump to a conclusion?
Friends telling her, you need to put your foot down.
She did, actually. That's why he was happy to get away from her. Because she was doing it a lot. But you know what? She was doing it in a way that was negative, nagging. And again, like I said last week, in the Bible, it says that a woman who is contentious, arguing with her husband all the time is like a dripping faucet. It's like, you know, a dripping faucet that can annoy you so much. It's almost like torment. And it's better for that man to leave the feast of his table with his family and go into the middle of a room, like a small room, and just stay in the corner of a room with a morsel of food, and he will be more at peace and enjoy his life a lot more than he will with a contentious woman. So this woman is contentious, and she is contentious because even during the sessions, she is like, he caused all this! And I'm like, whoa, shh, hold down, you know, and she's like, she's argumentative. And
so where does she live then? Because she obviously can't afford his house.
Okay, they sold the house, and he gave her all the proceeds from the house. I mean, all the income from the house. The house was beautiful because he's a contractor. They obviously just bought a piece of land, and he got it built, and it had everything you could imagine in that home. She showed me pictures of the home, and it was beautiful. Beautiful. An area where they can put an iPhone on the wall.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and just play it right from there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I don't even have an iPhone. Never mind having a wall for an iPhone. Stereos, she showed me pictures of this home, and it's massive. And she couldn't afford it, but they sold it, and he gave her every cent from the home. Good guy, right? And he knew she was going to need that. What did she do? Went on vacation, went on vacation to get surgeries.
Is she on welfare now? What is she doing now?
No, she's still living on child support, which is quite hefty still. She still gets a nice amount of child support. With that money, she didn't even buy herself a home. So he bought a home for his kids, his kids to live in, and so she's living in it as well. Didn't put it under her name at all, so she's basically living in his home. And now he's taken her to court for the kids because she will have nothing. No child support, no home to live in, and right about now he doesn't care because she just goes off. Like in the middle of the night, driving up on his lawn and yelling on his street, throwing stuff. He's embarrassed, right? And the kids are hurt, right? And so the kids are seeing it. Sometimes she'll wake the kids up in the middle of the night to cry to them. She's really lost it, right? But this is what sometimes we do. We make choices in life that we don't think about. That's why we have to think about everything. Yeah, I can understand that her husband was not paying attention to her. Go to the girls' recitals, but sit him down and talk to him like you said best. Talk to him in a way that is productive. You know, he maybe didn't have a lot of sense. You know, just a 9-to-5 kind of blue-collar guy that just doesn't want to go to a recital.
Sometimes they don't listen.
Say that?
I said contractors don't have time for family. They're so busy building and.
Yes.
There's a trade-off.
He was, and you know what, he owns a huge company.
Yeah.
So he doesn't even work any longer, but he's running how many sites in the city of Toronto? He has hundreds of employees,
Yeah.
right? So,
Why didn't they just compromise?
he's busy. Well, she tried to compromise many times with him,
Like,
and he did too, but he would pay her off. He would bring her home, you know, a pair of shoes. But she would say to him, you could go shopping for my shoes, and how long did it take you to pick out my favorite pair of shoes and my size? You could have just came home and took us all out to dinner. And so she would have a point too, but he thought he was doing something nice.
Well, yeah,
By
man,
shopping for
shoes.
shoes. Right? Imagine a contractor walking down an aisle at Gucci and picking out a pair of shoes.
And there's a lot to
There's a lot to
styles
choose
and
from.
a certain line and different meals.
Right.
why didn't she just involve the girls in like a sport where the dad would want to go to, or instead of him going to a ballet recital, she takes the girls out to go to the
A sporting event.
and then that way
That's
they
a
can
good
all
idea.
spend time together.
It's too late now, so.
Yes, she
That's
lost
a
it.
great. Put him in class 3. So get hold of that man and bring him up.
Jesus, I'm happy with flowers, never mind Gucci shoes, Jesus.
Maybe go buy me a pair of shoes. We're good.
Right. So yes, and this woman, she, you know, but that's what happens. Cause and effect.
Maybe she just thought he was going to change.
She felt he was going to change if she gave him the divorce papers, but she didn't realize
I
this
mean,
man.
throughout the
No,
years,
but-
because you said she was with him.
Right. But
And
she
she
would always
thought-
say to him, "Oh, you'll never change." She knew he wasn't going to change. She's still the same.
Right.
But the new woman has her own career.
So she's
busy.
busy.
That's right, and she's doing her own thing, and so she's a younger woman, and she doesn't want to be loaded down with a lot of kids right now anyway, right? So, a huge difference, world of difference going on here. And, okay, so, you know, the cause and effect is very, very important. We have to be careful with every single choice we make. We have to make sure we are looking at what the outcomes could be. That's weighing the odds. That old saying, weigh the odds. So if we are going to do something, we have to make sure that we know what the odds would be.